Welcome to Executive Matchmakers, an exclusive dating service. Led by Genevieve Grisset, Master Certified Matchmaker, dating coach, author, and radio and TV personality. We are the experts in helping exceptional singles find that missing piece. Love. Are you ready to find the one?
So, we've all heard of relationship red flags. To put it simply, red flags are potential warning signs that, when noticed, they can help us avoid heartbreak or toxic partners and very dangerous relationship situations. But what about green flags in a relationship? Genevieve, why is it important to focus on green flags when dating?
Green flags are important for a number of different reasons. The first reason, I think, is one that we don't perhaps think about as much as we should, is that often when we're dating someone, we're always looking out for red flags, and therefore we miss the signs that someone is good for us and is right for us, and actually we should pursue and carry on that journey with. And that's what green flags are for. It's those signs and the positive qualities and those positive moments that make you realize, actually, this person is good. We can all talk ourselves out of any situation, but it's much harder to stay engaged and committed to a dating process.
So now that we know why they're important, why we should focus on them, let's go over what to look for when dating. So as you know, when we send our matchmaking clients out on dates, we encourage them to look for these 10 key green flags. So I've compiled the list here. I'd like to go through each one of them and just briefly ask you, why is it important? Why do we put this on our list? So first up, showing up on time. Why is this considered a green flag?
It's a green flag because someone is showing a level of commitment. It's also a mark of respect. You're not wasting someone's time. It's also showing that you're enthusiastic and keen and you're invested in the process as well. So there's a lot of reasons why being on time and being punctual is so important. It's respectful, and also you don't want to leave your date waiting because they'll think that you're not really interested in them.
Yeah, it's so true. Okay, I say this while looking directly in my camera here. Eye contact. Why is eye contact an important green flag?
It's important because then you're actually being vulnerable when you make eye contact with someone. You're also showing that you're open to an emotional connection with somebody when you're making eye contact. And when you don't make eye contact, people automatically think, oh, what's she got to hide? She can't even look me in the eye, or he can't even look me in the eye. So eye contact is one of those things where it's a form of connection, and it's a really important form of connection, and it builds trust. Eye contact does build trust when you're talking to someone.
Okay, number 3, a good listener. How can you tell someone is a good listener, and why is it important?
There's 2 types of listeners. There's people that listen and just go, okay, and then ask the next question. Or there's people that listen and take the information that you've given them and dissect it a little bit more and ask more about you. And that's when curiosity comes in. So if you're a good listener, you're giving enough space for someone to say everything they need to say. Plus also you're committing to having a really nice conversation with somebody, and it's got to be a two-way street. It's got to be like a game of tennis. When you're in a date situation, the communication and the conversation should be like a game of tennis. No one should really be speaking more than the other. Someone shouldn't be interrogating you or making you feel as if you're in an interview waiting to sort of find out if you've got a job with somebody or not.
Yeah, that seems like a horrible date.
And we hear it all the time. We always hear that. I felt that someone's just firing questions at me, and I felt like I was going for a job interview rather than a relationship date.
Right. So speaking of questions, the number 4 green flag we list is that they ask thoughtful questions. So what differentiates an interview question from a thoughtful green flag question?
Well, a green flag question is always driven by curiosity. So it means they've listened. So for example, I'll just give you a little example. If you're talking about holidays and someone's talking about, do you like going on holiday? And someone says yes. If they then move on to the next question without actually digging a little bit deeper, then it just shows that they're not curious enough and not being thoughtful enough to answer and listen. If someone's asking about holidays, you then want to be saying, so where was your best holiday? Where was your worst holiday? What was the best experience or worst experience you had? It just shows that someone's really invested and interested in getting to know you on a much deeper level, not this superficial layer that often is just polite conversation.
So true. Okay, number 5, a good sense of humor. Why is this important?
Oh, humor is so important. You don't want to sit there and just think, oh, this is boring. How quickly can I get out of this? I need to leave. If you can make someone laugh and you can bring humor into it, it warms the whole date completely. And it shows what level of humor you've both got. Are you on the same level when it comes to humor? There's nothing worse. I remember one client once saying to me, he was telling me all these really inappropriate jokes, and I just sat there thinking, well, how quickly can I order an Uber and get out of here? This was a few years ago, but we often hear about people where humor is appropriate or it's inappropriate or it's just not on the same level. The humor just doesn't match. And that's so important. If you're going to be spending the rest of your life with someone, hey, you want it to be enjoyable and fun.
So true. Yeah, it's a good indicator of how compatible you are with someone. Okay, number 6, an open mind. Why is this important?
You have to have an open mind when dating. And the reason you have to have an open mind is because if you have a very closed mind, you set yourself and everybody else up to fail. Mm-hmm. We also know that people fall in love with people that they never thought they'd fall in love with. They often meet someone and think, I never in a minute. How often do we hear when we've got people that go on hold because they've met someone through us and they say, I never in a million years thought I'd end up with someone like her or like him. Always for good reasons. But sometimes those deal breakers, which were not so important, but they were there, people don't realize how important they are when they're in a situation and they're saying, oh, they've got to be this height, or they've got to live in this distance, or they've got to be this dress size. But actually when they meet, they realize that's completely insignificant. It doesn't really matter. So it's about the person, it's about the connection, it's about values, beliefs, and respect for each other, and where all of that is aligned. So it's actually really important to keep an open mind so that you're focusing on the other person and what they bring to the table rather than what they haven't got.
Okay, this next one is interesting to me because it's giving their full attention. To me, this sounds similar to being a good listener, but it's set as a separate
it is. And we do that deliberately. Can
you explain that one a little bit?
Yeah, when we mean by full attention is someone really in the process with you, or are they busy on their phones? Are they busy looking around, the restaurant or around the venue where you're having your day, checking out other people? Are they really there? Are they present? Are they committed? Are they connected to you and getting to know you?
Oh, I see. Okay, it's good. It's a different category then.
It is.
So number 8, we're almost done here. A positive attitude. Why is this important?
Oh, because there's nothing worse than sitting down with someone who's miserable and negative and finding fault with everything. I mean, shoot me now, get me out of here. It's not what you want. When people talk about negative things on dates and they're saying, oh, this restaurant isn't very good, or yeah, have you seen the state of the people around here? Or they're finding fault with what's going on. They're finding fault with everything in life. There's nothing more off-putting. It's not a way of connection. Sometimes people think being negative and finding negative things to moan about is a wonderful way to connect with people. It's the biggest turn-off. And it's one of the things that we hear in feedback. I don't want to see them again. I never want to talk to them again because they moaned, they were negative, they had nothing positive to say.
Wow. Yeah, that's very true. This one, number 9, kind of goes hand in hand, and it's the green flag of politeness and manners. So what does this have to do with green flags? How can we notice this?
So it's manners. Does someone say please and thank you? Do they treat the staff around you if you're in a restaurant or a coffee shop? Do they say thank you? Are they respectful? Do they hold the door open to you? If someone's held the door open, do you say thank you when someone holds the door? How do you treat others, and how you treat other people in front of your date is a really good indicator as to how they're going to treat you.
Yes, so true, so true. Okay, last but not least, and honestly, I feel this might be the most important one. Number
Right.
10, you feel at ease with them. Why is this a green flag?
It's a huge green flag. When you're dating someone, you're not meeting someone as a lover to start off with. You're meeting them as a friend. You're meeting, first of all, your first introduction when you first see each other, you're meeting as strangers. You know nothing about each other except a little bit of information. So you're essentially meeting a stranger. And when you're meeting a stranger, the hope is that you become friends and then you take it into a relationship. So it's really important to get on, to enjoy each other's company, to feel that you're with someone that you can be open with, you can be honest with, you can be vulnerable, you can be yourself and be authentic with. If you can't, and you have to put up airs and graces, you have to put on a front, it's never going to work. It just isn't going to work. You've got to meet people on an authentic level. You have to be your authentic self and they have to be their authentic self. Otherwise, it's a bit of a facade.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Okay, so now that we've gone through all 10 green flags, what if our date shows 7 out of 10 or 5 out of 10? They don't show every single one, or they show all of them, or what should we keep in mind? Should we keep a score, or how should we go about this?
No, I think the most important thing is to recognize, understand what the green flags are. People might not display all 10 in a date. They might just display a few and you might not remember. And I don't want anyone going to a date with a scorecard and nipping to the bathroom every 5 minutes going, oh, there's another one, let's just tick these off. That's the worst thing. I always say to people, come back, look at the green flags and say, ah, yes, this, that was very prominent, it was very present. And made me feel very comfortable. And those are the reasons why I'm curious enough to go out on another date, follow our 3-date rule and see where this could potentially lead to.
That's really beautiful. You just mentioned the 3-date rule, and I want to pick up on that a little bit. Should we look for these green flags only within one date, or should it be over a span of a few dates? What do you recommend?
I say while you're dating someone and you're in a relationship with someone, you should always be mindful and have your eyes open to green flags throughout your whole dating journey. Mm-hmm. Because green flags should be there forever. And you can think of it with friends and family. Oh yeah, we communicate well, there's good eye contact, I always feel comfortable. It's not just in a loving relationships, it's in all relationships, those green flags are there. So it's one of those things that if people say, well, I don't know how to practice it. Well, you can practice it in the work environment, you can practice it with family, with friends, you can recognize it. And also, what are your green flags? Are you giving off all of these? Are you doing all of these things? If you're not sure how you behave, then these are good indicators for you to give yourself a little checklist to keep yourself in check when dating as well.
Yes. Wow. That is incredible advice. Thank you so much, Genevieve. This has been such an interesting discussion. Being able to identify these green flags will be a game changer for so many relationships. I'm sure of it. So thank you.
I hope so. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process.
So true. Well, thank you, Genevieve, for joining us. And for anyone who might be interested in our matchmaking services, we invite you to visit our website at executivematchmakers.com, and you can find all of this information in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for our weekly content. Until next time, bye. Thanks for joining us.